Hello everyone. Before I start this video, I'd like to mention that this is a Hong Kong travel video from July 11 to July 14, 2025. During this weekend trip, I went to the Hong Kong Art Museum for the first time. I was very keen to visit this museum. I took pictures of the Cantonese and Chinese art that they had. I was very keen to see all of these exhibits in this museum. I also visited the Peak Tower yet again, and I took the Peak Tram yet again, and I took pictures of the central area of the town from the Peak Tower. I also visited multiple malls, multiple shopping centers, and multiple bakeries in Hong Kong, and I brought back some souvenirs and some pastries from my friends. And I also visited multiple restaurants in Hong Kong too. Some of these restaurants I've been to before, some of these restaurants were new, but one of the most enjoyable things of all was all of that wonderful food that they had in Hong Kong. The food has always been wonderful, will always be wonderful, and during this weekend trip was very wonderful. So I'm very grateful for that. Wonderful Peking duck, ifu noodles, and wonton noodles, and I'm very grateful for that. So of course it's been made a wonderful weekend with my aunt and my mother in Hong Kong, and it'll always be a wonderful time anytime I take a trip to this town. It's one of my favorite places to visit in the whole world, and of course, indeed, I'm thankful that this particular trip was made very wonderful, and all of my trips to Hong Kong have been wonderful. Other trips to Hong Kong will be wonderful, and this particular weekend trip to Hong Kong was really wonderful indeed. So of course, hope you enjoyed the video and hope you enjoy all of the new content in this video. So today we're going to visit the Hong Kong Art Museum. I'm really looking forward to it since, I was really keen to do this. For now, I'm going to get some breakfast, and then I'm going to come back and do some work, and then, of course, I'm going to eat, do some work, and later on, close to noon, we're going to head out and, of course, visit that wonderful art museum that I'm always looking forward to go to. So yeah, it's going to be great. Hello, okay, so now we're at the train station and we're gonna wait for our train. As you know, we just missed the train, but now we're gonna wait for the train to bring us over to Central Area. We just missed the last one, so now we're gonna wait for the next one. And then of course, later on, we'll arrive at the museum and get tickets and explore the whole thing. It will be interesting. Okay, so we finished with the museum visit. So next we're gonna get some late lunch. Of course, it's now 3 plus in the afternoon. So now we're gonna get some late lunch. Hello, okay, I'm at Max Noodles now, and I'm getting some food with my mother, my aunt, and my younger little cousin. Okay, so lunch is all finished, and now I'm on the way to Festival Walk to get my wedding gifts from my church friends. So I'm back at City Plaza. So for our final day in Hong Kong, we're going to get some quick lunch and then take the peak tram and take pictures of the wonderful view on the peak tram for our final day. I'm now at the Peak Tower. We were gonna take the Peak tram up the hill, but I'm afraid that the station was way too crowded, so we weren't able to. So we drove up the hill. So now I'm at the Peak Tower, and of course it's an amazing view at the Peak Tower. So of course enjoyable indeed. Okay, so now I'm at PMQ near Central Station, also slightly close to Kennedy Town. We're looking around for now, and then in a short while we're gonna head down and we're gonna get our supper on the very last day. I also got my wedding gifts for my church friends, and we'll pass the gifts to my friends when I come home next week. So yeah, see you soon, and we'll get dinner in a short while, and then of course I'll see you there in the restaurant. Okay, hello. So I'm back now in my apartment in Singapore. It's been a most enjoyable trip. Been quite tiring, but still worth it. Still enjoyed the whole entire town of Hong Kong. Once again, it's my favorite place to be. And yeah, I would call this trip a wonderful, successful, amazing time. So that's what I would call it. And if I take another trip there again, will be yet another wonderful experience. So thank you all for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.